Welcome to AutoTruth, revealing the road ahead.
Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're tackling one of the most polarizing, widely debated features in modern automotive history, automatic start-stop technology. If you drive a car built in the last decade or so, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You pull up to a red light, come to a complete halt, and suddenly, silence. Your engine just dies. For a lot of us, it triggers this instant wave of mechanical anxiety. Is my car broken? Am I completely wearing out the starter? Are we actually even saving gas here? Well, today, we're going to separate the myths from the mechanical realities. Okay, here's our quick roadmap. We'll hit the red light shutter, how start-stop actually saves fuel, AGM and EFB batteries, battery registration, the engine wear myth, and finally, engineering the AutoTruth. Let's get right to it. Section 1. The red light shutter. Seriously, does your car hate you? Let's just acknowledge the elephant in the room right off the bat. I mean, it feels totally unnatural, right? You get that jarring shudder, your internal combustion engine just goes completely dead at an intersection. Deep down, your driving instincts are screaming that a stalled engine is terrible news, so it's no wonder drivers are super skeptical about this. But to get why this happens, we gotta look past the steering wheel and deep under the hood. Because a start-stop vehicle isn't just a standard car with a quirky computer chip slapped on, it has some heavily integrated, hardcore components. We're talking about a highly specialized battery, a totally beefed-up starter and alternator, which are actually often combined into one big starter-generator unit, and some seriously complex electronic control modules. That's the hardware foundation we're dealing with today. Moving to Section 2, how start-stop save fuel, the why behind that shutter. So why do automakers even build this disruptive feature in the first place? Well, besides strict government greenhouse gas rules, the real-world answer is fuel economy, specifically 5 to 10%. That's the bump in fuel savings you can expect driving around the city. Because think about it, when you're stopped, you're not getting 0 miles per gallon anymore, you're just literally not burning gas at all. In heavy bumper-to-bumper traffic, cutting out that idle time translates into immediate, tangible value for your wallet and the air we breathe. Let's walk through exactly what happens in a single cycle. You stop, the engine cuts out entirely, and all your accessories, the radio, the AC fan, seamlessly flip over to battery power. The split second you lift your foot off the brake, that starter generator pulls a massive jolt of electricity to crank the engine before your foot even touches the gas pedal. Then while you're driving, mechanical energy converts to recharge the battery. And in a lot of these newer systems, slowing down actually captures energy through regenerative braking and feeds it right back in. It's honestly this constant, beautifully choreographed dance of energy. And the long-term math here? It's kind of wild. Over a standard 10-year lifespan of a vehicle, this tech is way more than just a gimmick. You're looking at pocketing between $800 and $2,000 in fuel savings. And environmentally, it stops up to 3,540 kilograms of CO2 from hitting the atmosphere. To put that into perspective, that is the equivalent volume of about 3/4 of an Olympic-sized swimming pool of emissions, just from your car taking a quick nap at red lights. Section 3, AGM and EFB batteries. The hidden challenge, electricity. See, the electrical demand on these cars is absolutely off the charts. If you threw a cheap, standard flooded lead-acid battery in there, it would fail miserably and leave you stranded at a green light. To survive shutting down and restarting hundreds of times a week while still running your heated seats, engineers use two specific heavy hitters. Think of the AGM, or absorbent glass mat battery, as the power lifter. It handles extreme workloads, gives you 50% more capacity, and is perfect for cars packed with screens and regenerative braking. On the flip side, you have the EFB, the enhanced flooded battery. This one's the marathon runner. It pumps out steady, reliable energy for slightly simpler start-stop systems and easily lasts twice as long as a normal battery. Basically, you absolutely cannot swap these out for a standard battery. Which brings us right to Section 4, Battery Registration Explained, telling the car about its new battery. If you're a DIY enthusiast who loves working on your own car, you need to pay close attention to this next part. Modern cars pack a battery management system, or BMS. This is a super smart computer constantly tracking the age, charge, and health of your battery. And as that battery gets old and tired, the BMS actually cranks up the alternator's charging voltage to compensate. So when you drop a fresh, brand new battery in, you have to register or code it via the car's diagnostic port. You literally have to explicitly tell the computer, hey, new battery in town, you can stop overcharging now. Because if you skip that simple software registration, oh boy. First, your car will overcharge or undercharge that brand new battery, essentially cooking it alive. you'll get hit with super annoying, persistent dashboard error codes like P0A08. The car's computer might even just disable the start-stop system entirely out of self-preservation. And at the end of the day, you will drastically slash the lifespan of a very expensive AGM or EFB battery. All right, Section 5, the engine wear myth. Let's address the absolute biggest fear out there. We all just intrinsically feel like restarting an engine dozens of times a day has to be shredding the internal metal components, right? Well, it all comes down to physics, specifically something called hydrodynamic lubrication. When your engine is running, the spinning metal shafts act kind of like a water skier gliding effortlessly over a lake. Just like a high-speed boat lifts the skier above the drag of the water, those rapidly spinning shafts create this high-pressure wedge of motor oil. This oil wave completely lifts the metal parts away from each other. So while you're driving, there's literally zero metal-to-metal contact. But here is the terrifying truth. Up to 75% of your engine's lifetime wear happens right at the startup phase. Why? Because when the engine is off, that nice protective oil wedge just drains away. The metal parts sink down and physically touch. So when you start the car, for a fraction of a second, you get direct metal-to-metal grinding. Engineers call this boundary lubrication. Now, if start-stop systems are doing this constantly at every single red light, shouldn't the engines be tearing themselves to pieces? Which leads us to Section 6, engineering the AutoTruth. How engineers actually solved this massive problem. Automakers obviously weren't blind to the physics here. They knew they had to fundamentally redesign the engine internals and the starting system. Take the starter motor first. A standard starter from a decade ago was built to handle maybe 50,000 start cycles in its whole life. Put that in a start-stop car and it's burnt out in months. So engineers developed heavily reinforced starters designed to survive an unbelievable 250,000 to 300,000 start cycles. They packed them with high-torque planetary gears and pre-engaging solenoids to guarantee a smooth, non-destructive crank every single time that light turns green. But what about that awful metal-to-metal contact inside the engine? To fix this, they went full space age. Gianmaria Olivetti, the CTO at Federal Mogul Powertrain, talks about this specialized polymeric coating called IROX. It gets applied directly to the engine bearings and acts as a dry lubricant. It totally protects the engine during those scary, oil-deprived fractions of a second when the car restarts. It's actually so incredibly slick, it reduces overall engine friction even better than switching to thinner oil. So, bringing it all together, we started with that annoying red light shutter. But peeling back the layers, we found a system that legitimately saves thousands of dollars and cuts a mountain of emissions. We uncovered the heavy-duty AGM batteries running the show, and we completely busted the engine wear myth by looking at the reinforced starters and those crazy space-age polymer bearings keeping your engine safe. Which leaves us with one final thought. Is this auto start-stop system just an annoying eco-gimmick, or is it actually a hidden mechanical masterpiece operating right under your hood? I'll let you decide. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.
Get the truth about your ride. Subscribe to AutoTruth today.